So let's see here. I'm trying to get that thing just right. There we go. It's a little bit better. All right. It's Saturday night. It's the day after Christmas, 2026 or 2025. Sorry, going into 2026. Finishing this KRIS Kringle Krampus killer. This was a character I designed back in I think 2018. Now it's like, it's pretty popular. There's a bunch of different. It's a thing. It's a genre. It's a barbarian type. Kris Kringle or Santa Claus. So you get it with like a multitude of different things. Movies. There's was it Santa Slays? I think was the first one or one of the first ones. There's a Christmas movie anthology where he's fighting a Krampus in it. It's like a horror anthology. There's that one. There's a comic book called Slayer. It's spelled Sleigh. Then you have Violent Night with David Harbour. You have was it Klaus with the comic by so it's beautifully illustrated by Dan Mora, and the writing is it's written by Grant Morrison. That used to come out every year. And then this is my take at it. I'm gonna hopefully make this into a comic book one year. If I can't, then I'm probably gonna be maybe I'll be drawing him every year. I think that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, he's fighting different tribes of Krampus. That's his thing. He's a hunter. He's definitely Scandinavian, and yeah, that's his thing, man. He doesn't have any reindeer really, and he rides around on something else. he doesn't deliver presents. He delivers ass whoopings. So yeah, right here he's got his Christmas belt, his wreath on. It's pretty funny, and he's got his little armored mask that's built into his hat, so his stocking cap. So I'm gonna do this for about maybe an hour or two, have a little drink, and then I'm just gonna wind down tonight. See how that goes. All right, had an awesome day today. It was really rainy though, pretty wild. Yeah, definitely very rainy. So right now I'm just gonna get in here with the eraser and just kind of clean up some stuff. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of cleaning it up. We're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go in there and I might add a couple things, but nothing too crazy. Add a little bit of maybe some lighting, some shadows. Not too much. I normally use a lot. I usually go heavy on the shadows because I just think it looks cool. But lately, I've been going lighter. I'm switching it up a little bit. Just trying new things, A lot of people like to switch it up. Different shadows, and especially like if you got me, like I draw a lot of like battle sequences and fights and stuff, and I figure that when you're adding too much shadow, it really slows down the movement. So I'm trying to go a little lighter on some of the battle sequences with the shading. So we're doing this right here. I'm using the Tombow eraser, the mono Tombow one. It's getting cut down. I'm gonna need to make the journey out to the art supply store again, out in the art supply warehouse. Man, that place is awesome. To get some more, actually, I got one more eraser too I want to try out. It's pretty good. But this thing, I've had this thing for a while now. I think since July, so it's actually lasted a while. And I like it because it doesn't erase, doesn't bring up a lot of the ink. Stays right on there. But as long as you kind of go sort of light on it, and you gotta move the eraser in a certain way, otherwise it could smear a little bit. There we go. There's that right there. Get the shoulders. Gotta clean it. What I do when I clean it is I just rub it, There we go. But it's weird. Like if you go down there sometimes and you start to erase it like too light, it'll it'll smear the stuff. So you got to kind of come in there pushing down hard and kind of moving slow. With this one, anyways. Sometimes it will create a smudge that will not go away. And then you got to know when to take it off because it'll smudge that way too because of the buildup. Yeah. The smart thing would have been to do is pencil this really tightly and then erase, or I'm sorry, then scan it in and then print it out, ink the scans. Yeah. And that's it. It's Christmas. So it came and went. Came in and then that was that. Came in like a storm and left. Got it almost all cleaned up. You can come in here and tweak with some more stuff. Obviously, you're going to see little bits that you missed. Go back and hit that up. Yeah. There we go. There we go. All right there. Clean these guys up. Streaming a little early tonight. We got an early day tomorrow, so this is not my normal time. I normally go a little later than this. Yeah. Seems like everybody's seen that Sisu movie. Everyone's talking about Avatar, though. Yeah. It's crazy. He's saying that he might have to just spoil the next two movies and not make them because they're going to take forever to make. He's been working on it for so long. It's pretty wild. Says he's going to try. James Cameron says he's going to try to find a way to make them maybe with AI, but he doesn't want to fire in the artist, any of the animators or the writers or the actors. So it's kind of like, what do you need AI for? You know, that's pretty much what it does. It kind of eliminates everybody. Yeah. See, a minute lost to go. Hey, how you doing there? Thanks for stopping by. Just finishing up this KRIS Kringle Krampus killer piece. Right now I'm cleaning up most of the pencil work. Just kind of getting rid of that. See, I don't think you remember me, but I was on a couple of your lives and I was called the Cool. Oh yeah, I think I remember you. Yeah. Hope you're having a good weekend, man. Yes. Oh, you studied on a submarine, huh? That's cool. That's really awesome. I know he was doing a lot of that work for that movie he did after Titanic, where he was searching the waters for the Titanic, and also with the Abyss. A1 Fuego. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Cameron's he's awesome. I like how he takes what he learns from previous movies and kind of brings it into the next one. That's what Guillermo del Toro does a lot. And it's funny too because they're homies. Guillermo del Toro said he lived at his house. He lived at James Cameron's house for a long time. You know, and they're both kind of competing for like Oscar buzz because of Frankenstein and Avatar 3. And Cameron's like saying that Netflix movies shouldn't be considered for the Oscars, and Guillermo's like, yeah, Avatar 3 is like one of the best movies I've seen of the year. It was good though. Oh, hey, what am I drawing? I'm drawing a KRIS Kringle Krampus killer. This is a Santa character I made up a few years ago, and I just wanted to do a retake on it. Kind of come at it again. I'm fighting a bunch of Krampus. I might make a comic book of it one day. And right now, I just finished doing cleaning up some of the pencil, erasing it, and now I'm gonna attack it with some more inks and basically finish it up. This is the last thing, last stream. So he made Avatar, Way of Water, and Titanic mostly from how much he loved the ocean. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, A1. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I actually think I liked the new Avatar movie the best, man. I like them all. Like I said before, a lot of people say that those aren't that good, and I'm like, but they're not that bad either. Yeah, I like the Colonel in there, the Stephen Lang character, Quaritch. I forgot his name, Colonel Quaritch. I always forget how to pronounce it correctly. But yeah, The Way of Water. Oh, you read Solomon Kane and Conan? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a long movie. Yeah, yeah. Solomon Kane and Conan are awesome. Can never get enough of that. Never get enough of that. Do I have any other good recommendations? Um, let's say maybe check out some Cole and some Brad McMorn from the same writer. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yep, yep. And it's got a little lightened up right here. I got to come back at again. Also, like Michael Moorcock with the Elric books. Those are really cool right here. I haven't read any of them though. And there's the next book I want to try to get on audio is the Kane books. Probably gonna start checking those out. Because to be honest with you, I don't got time to read. I got so much stuff going on, so I'm usually just doing audiobooks now. It's kind of like reading though. You still get all the information. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it, man. There we go. Oh, thanks on the. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I get the 900 subs. That's crazy. Can't believe it. Yeah. Finally finished that Lobo piece. Trying to finish this one up, and then almost done with this other piece. A lot of people are talking about like Vecna and Pennywise, like who would beat who. I was thinking about drawing them facing off. Trying to switch it up. Yeah. So I finished the last bit of Stranger Things. I was watching it the other night, but I got really tired and fell asleep. I think it was last night, actually. Yep. You think Vecna would win? Yeah, I don't know though. Pennywise is pretty strong. The spider, you know, he eats like eater of worlds. The thing is though, he only comes around every 28 years. Vecna's around all the time. So it's kind of it's a good debate, you know. It's like that one debate. It's like a bar debate, you know. You're at the bar and you're arguing. There was one that was like who would win in a fight, like 20 dwarfs or a lion? You know what I'm saying? Oh, thanks, Mini Laws. I appreciate it. Let's see, this guy's coming down right here like that. I gotta get up early tomorrow. Yeah, Pennywise comes around every 27 years, so that's kind of like, what if he's like sleeping, right? And Vecna finds him and murders him, and then brings him into the under the upside down. That'd be a cool little comic. That's how I would write it, you know. Because and then Pennywise is stuck, and he's got to find a way out of the under, what is it? Sorry, the underneath or upside down. So like for me, the whole concept, that's how I would write the book, would be that Pennywise is in the going around fighting fighting like demogorgons and whatnot in the because if you're gonna do a story, don't just make it a fight, make it a little story, you know. Have him go in there, or have Vecna find Pennywise sleeping like out in the middle of Derry Forest, you know, hibernating, get the spider, and then open a portal to the upside down, bring him in there. Then he wakes up maybe 28 years later, and he starts taking out some demogorgons, you know, fighting them off, and that could be like a couple issues, and he finds maybe Vecna's headquarters, and they start doing battle, and yada yada yada, you know. And then eventually, probably Pennywise would open a portal back to, or trick him to opening a portal somehow. And then they would be on Earth, and then ultimately, I think Pennywise would win at that juncture. that's how I would start writing the story. It would be like that, just off the top of my head. That's what I would do. Because if you're gonna make people fight each other, you got to have a little story with it. I think it's more interesting. You know, make a couple comics out of it. You know, make it like a 3 to 6 parter. You know, at least like 2 issues. You know, can't do it all in one. I mean, you could do it in one, but you want to see the battle. Like the battle's got to be a lot of panels. It's got to be epic, and you want to have a good story. Yeah, so I'd say at least 3 issues would be good. You could pull it off in 2. 1 is not enough, though. 1 is definitely not enough. You know, and you got to figure out what is Vecna want with Pennywise. Maybe he wants to absorb his power. You know, he wants to level up, because his power just isn't, you know, at that god level tier yet, because he's still as a human at the end of the day, right? He comes from human power, so maybe he wants to steal his power. You know. Let's see here. Yeah, he's in another dimension sleeping. just finished watching Stranger Things a couple of days ago, season 5. I'll get back to it actually before I let's see here. I'll get back to it actually before I go to sleep, I think. Yeah, he does sleep. Yeah, for 27 years. Kind of like, what is that Jeepers Creepers character? The Creeper. He sleeps too. Yeah, Pennywise sleeps for sure. It's crazy. But like Vecna, he's just awake all the time. Let's see here. Root weapon. Yeah, the little broom. I gotta draw some more vines on here too. Oh, it's more of a switch. Let's see here. Well, getting Vecna's powers was. Oh, I didn't see that yet. I mean, actually, I did see some of that in the last part of the first part of season 5's like mid-season finale. I haven't seen the ones that dropped yesterday. I started watching it, but I fell asleep, so I'll probably check those out in a couple days, though. Still gotta catch up on that. Can't do it right now, though. It's just too busy with work and whatnot. Gotta sleep. Yeah. Go. Yeah, I would recommend the TV show Welcome to Derry. It was decent, definitely worth watching. I like that Bill Skarsgård came back and he plays Pennywise. I think that's cool. It's admirable, Definitely shows merit. He's willing to do that, and he's executive producer. And then they dive into the Bob Gray character a little bit. I guess they don't really do it that much in the book, so King gave him the rights or the whatever, the blessing or the to get in there and really build on Pennywise's character. For me, I was always interested in like his origin, to be honest. Watching the movie on TV back in the day. Yeah, Welcome to Derry. My friend brags about it, but I never know what's going on. So, yeah, and my buddy knows all about it. He just finished reading the book and said it was great. I haven't read it though. Yeah. I think eventually they'll remake they'll just have a new TV show, or yeah. I think they're gonna do a lot of stuff though before that happens. I think they're gonna obviously make 2 more seasons. Then they're gonna make a sequel to the movies that's in the works too. They're talking about that, and there's also a 3-hour cut of it, the first It remake, and there's also another 3-hour cut of It Chapter 2, the remake sequel. So they're thinking about putting that into a 6-hour movie that would go into theaters or would be released like the Snyder cut. So there's a lot of It content coming out. So I kind of want to watch the original one. Yeah, the original one's my favorite. So the original was a TV show that they combined into one movie. So you buy it on DVD, it's 3 hours long. If you buy it on DVD, the old DVDs, you have to flip the DVD over. That's the one I have. Yeah, we used to watch that. Doesn't work though. It's not working. Got to get a new one. And then on Tubi, they have a documentary. It's either Tubi or on Tubi or Prime that has a straight up documentary on the old movie It. It's pretty interesting to check out with Tim Curry and whatnot. Yeah, I guess he hated working on that movie, kind of, sort of. Put a little bit of detail on these horns right here. There's that. Been watching a lot of debate TV show now. It's been pretty funny on YouTube. Yeah, it's from the 1990s. Yeah. I think it is 1990, to be honest. The movie was scary. A lot of kids were scared by that movie. It was hard to live up to that movie. Tim Curry's such a good actor, you know. And he did it with ease too. He didn't have to try so hard, you know. Bill Skarsgård is a phenomenal actor too in his own regard, but he puts in a lot of over the top acting in his portrayal of Pennywise, and he's not funny either at all, really funny at all, you know. Tim Curry's portrayal was funny at sometimes, but then he could turn it off, like, and just turn into a terrifying monster, you know. And it was just, yeah, that's his thing. He actually is funny, but then out of nowhere he could just do that turn, you know. But so does Bill. He's working on it. Jim Carrey? No, it was Tim Curry from Legend, and also before that, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, that was like those are his big two movies. If you guys haven't seen Legend, I highly recommend it. That's like the closest thing you'd get to a Legend of Zelda movie. It's also done by Ridley Scott, so it's pretty good. Back in the day, Ridley was just doing a lot of really good seminal movies, like Alien, Blade Runner. Legend was really good. Yeah. Got to go check those out. Yeah. I had Legend on DVD, the special edition. I always like to buy the special editions. I like to watch the behind the scenes. I love watching how they make movies. Jim Carrey would have been a good Pennywise. He's one of those guys, you know. Good Pennywise, good. He would have been a good Joker as well. That's for sure. Let's see here. Should I buy Welcome to Derry or just the movie? I would personally, I would just buy the old movie. That's just my, you know. Yeah. I wouldn't even buy the new ones are cool, but they're not scary. They're not really iconic like is like the first TV show. A lot of the younger cats will be like, "Oh, you're tripping. The new Bill's fucking scary." It's like, no, he's not. He's cool. He's cool, you know. But he's not. You know, there's a thing that also in that first movie, it's in the 1950s, and the 1950s, everything's really like, it's like that diesel era. Everything's really like, it's kind of like Fallout, you know. Everything's really Betty Crocker, conservative. You know, everyone's got their nice clothing, and you know, very conservative America, and Pennywise just comes in and just destroys shit. When you're watching the reboot of the first remake, it's in the I think it's in the 80s. I think it's in the 80s, and so it's just like, you know, the kids are listening to Metallica. They're like metalheads. The world is a lot more liberal in that regard, liberated and whatnot. Even though it was the Reagan era, there was like heavy metal and things like that. Back in the 1950s, it was a lot more conservative. Like everything was. So, you know, you're listening to like, you know, doo-wop music. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that and then you have Pennywise come into the scene, it just makes things even more terrifying. I think right off the bat, that alone, the era in which it's set. Same thing with the new TV show. This one was in the 70s, so it was a little scarier. But once you start putting it in like modern, once you start hitting the 80s, it's I don't know. it's kind of tricky. It's got to be like Nightmare on Elm Street or something. But and that's already been done with Nightmare on Elm Street. You want to kind of keep it like that. So, but I'm looking forward to the next season. That one's going to be in 1930. Should be pretty crazy. Beauty in the Hair. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. We're drawing a KRIS Kringle Krampus killer, and just finishing this up right now. But yeah, I would have nightmares at Pennywise, man. I did not want to go downstairs. We lived in like a 2-story apartment. I remember like kind of getting out of bed and like about to go downstairs to get like a toy or something in the middle of the night. And I remember looking down at the stairs and I could imagine Pennywise at the bottom of the stairwell just looking up at me. I'd say, nuh-uh. Not going down there. No way, Jose. No way. No, thank you. I think like the first time I watched it too, I didn't even like finish watching the show. I was so scared. Just seeing, I think there's a scene where he just kills this little girl like on a tricycle, and he's standing between the clotheslines, just looking at her. I was like, ah. Sometimes these just single images can get you as a kid, you know. Really scary. But then I think I caught it again later, or I just watched it again somehow. Oh, you know what? I think my dad taped it, and I went back and watched it on the tape. That's what happened. You know what I've noticed? The older movies are actually scarier than ones from now, like the original Nun. Yeah, it's just that, and then the modern technology and CGI, it kind of, you're looking at something that's fake, you know. I've had this conversation a bunch of times. The mind knows when things are CGI. It knows when things are AI. Because of the weight, it just doesn't, the physics, it's just not there. We on a primal level, we know when something is not real and it's artificial. Didn't Stephen King's make the newer It? No, it was the forgive me for the pronunciation, but the Muschietis, I think. He's a director. He also did The Flash, and I think he's done some other horror movies. So he did the first 2 movies, It and It Chapter 2, and he's also doing the TV show, which is admirable. And he's also supposed to be directing the new Batman movie, so he's extremely busy. And his wife is like an executive producer too. So, and in the TV show, he plays a bunch of little roles, like he'll be like a piano player in the background, or just like some, I'm like, that's the director. But I think he's good at his job, And I thought the Flash, like putting Michael Keaton in there, that was awesome. That's like getting that was kind of like getting Batman 3, like the Tim Burton. Yeah, someone was saying, I wish we got a Tim Burton, like a third Burton movie, and I agree. I heard that today. Like, that would have been so cool getting a third Tim Burton movie. I think the Scarecrow would have been where it's at, though, right? I think the Scarecrow would be perfect for Tim Burton. There's a lot he can do with that. I would put it all in Arkham Asylum too. Like, put the whole movie in Arkham with the Scarecrow. It doesn't have to be like based on Grant Morrison's book, but or the video game even. But yeah, put the whole movie in Arkham Asylum. Make it Michael Keaton. You can even make it an older Batman too, where he's in his, however old you want to make him. Put the Scarecrow in there. Maybe get like an older guy to play. Maybe like Jim Carrey, not Jim Carrey, but he was gonna play him in Triumphant. It's Nicolas Cage. Get Nicolas Cage as the Scarecrow. Put it in Arkham. Have Tim Burton direct it. Just have fun. Just make a fun, fucking scary, action-packed, gothic Batman movie. Put a bunch of gargoyles in there. Maybe, and you could throw in a couple characters. You could put a bunch of Batman characters in there from the Batman '89 verse. You could have Two-Face could be in there. Billy D. Williams. I think he's still alive. I know he would be down to jump in there. You could have Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman could pop up in there. She could even be like a little love interest. Even if you give them like little kind of like mental institution, like straitjackets costumes and shit. That'd be kind of cool, Damn, that's a good concept. Zack Snyder did something like that though already. I think it was Batman the End. That was a pretty far out book. Yeah, that one's pretty crazy. With Greg Capullo, I think, did it. Yeah, but I don't know. Batman's played out. He's definitely one of my favorite characters. You know, probably is at the end of the day, but it's just too much of a good thing is bad, and then too much of a bad thing obviously is bad too. But I don't like to kill stuff. You know, you gotta switch it up. I think we've got a little too much Batman right now. Kind of got Batman fatigue right now, to be honest. More into like the indie scene and kind of the old sword and sorcery stuff. You know, I want to see some of that get some attention. To see some more Solomon Kane and Cole and Conan. You know, let's see some of the old guys come back, like the Shadow and Doc Savage, the Phantom, Rocketeer, Spider, the Black Bat. Let's see some of that brought back. Zorro. Let's see a John Carter. Let's see a John Carter movie, a new one. You know, Warlord of Mars. Maybe a Fire and Ice movie, a Death Dealer movie. You know, wouldn't that be cool? I think that would be awesome, personally. You know, there's a lot you could do too with Death Dealer. I think they just now came out with a comic book not too long ago. Fire and Ice. What was it? They just came out with the Fire and Ice comic. I think Sarah Frazetta wrote it. I think it's the first one. I saw it on Twitter. She was talking about it. It looked pretty dope. Had a Dan Panosian cover on it. Stephen King, though, he did direct a version of The Shining. That did happen. He did do that. Yeah. Start working on maybe some grass or something. Let's see. Work on some rocks right here, maybe. Try to move this around. This would be kind of fun. 30 minutes or so. Okay. Thanks for hitting the like, guys. I appreciate it. Stopping by. Happy New Year. I know it's next week, but it's not really Christmas anymore, right? All right, here we go. There's that. All right. We got that one right there. Okay. We got this right there. I'm just drawing a bunch of grass right now to kind of say we're what's going to be what, you know, having the foothold in there. All right. All right, there's that. All right. There's that. So yeah, I might make a comic of this character. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see here. Viking Santa, or is it the live goose on his head? No, it's a KRIS Kringle Krampus killer right here. Thanks for stopping by, Mad Loco 13. It's a character I made up a few years ago. I wanted to kind of do a rehash of it, kind of come back and update it a little. Have him fighting a bunch of Krampuses. Pretty much the concept. It's a Krampus hunter, a demon hunter. But yeah, the Viking. Yeah, he's definitely Scandinavian. But this character would be. I would have him around probably before the Viking era, I think. Yeah. I think that would be kind of fun. I might start writing a story about it just for fun. I was asking like if people would, if I made a comic book of this character, maybe in a couple years, because I might start writing a script for it, maybe, and then maybe like a story, then a script. And people said, yeah, they would read it, they'd buy it. I could put it up on my store. I'm working on a website right now. And I think eventually I might be able to put a store up on YouTube too, maybe a couple years. See how the channel goes. Yeah. Got a lot of ideas. I know some people have Patreons and they make comic books just for their Patreon people, their patrons. That might be kind of cool. Or maybe I'll make an exclusive YouTube comic for subscribers or something. That might be kind of cool. Maybe have like a secret code that I could sell to you guys only or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking of different things. People love exclusives now and exclusivities and custom things. So, but times are always changing. Always changing. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and yeah, thanks for hitting the like, guys. I appreciate that. The like and subscribing. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I know mine turned out pretty good. I ended up making some woke up and had the day off, so that was nice. Haven't had Christmas off in a while. So that was really cool. And yeah, I think it was the first time I actually had Christmas off in a while. And yeah, I made some cinnamon rolls, some bacon. Went over to the in-laws' house, had some beers, just hung out over there. Had a couple Blue Moons and some Negra Modelos. That was nice. Had some pastries. They had a bunch of food, but I just felt like just chilling and having some beers. So I did that. Then we went and got some Chinese food, that's like a tradition we're doing now. We eat Chinese food on Christmas Day because it's like the only place that's open. And I don't know, like I kind of feel like we shouldn't be cooking on Christmas Day. A lot of people do the big dinners and stuff, but we celebrate on Christmas Eve. We go hard on that Christmas Eve time. But we also do Christmas Day, and I don't know. I figured Christmas Day like should be just chilling. Like, I like to chill, open up presents, make a nice big breakfast, and then if they got a dope movie, go see a movie, man. Go see a movie. Like we would go watch Lord of the Rings. That was like a 3-year thing that we did with my family back in the day. But yeah. Next year I'm gonna go watch Doomsday, the Marvel movie. I hope it's good, man. It has some they're hit or miss. That's the plan for next year, though. Definitely gonna go. Hopefully, go watch that unless I got to work. Yeah. Looking forward to next. I'm looking forward to 2026. Oh, and then a bird flew by and took a shit on my hand too yesterday. I was just sitting. I was talking, running my mouth and had a beer in my hand and shit right here on my hand, right there. And I'm like, where did he go? I'm just looking around. Where it's gone. Then my brother-in-law said, that's good luck, right? I said, well, that's good to know. That's when the house started washing it off. I got some haters out there, man. Even in the bird Animalia, they hating. You see me rolling, hating. A little bit wide and nerdy. Let's see that. Roll with the gangsters. Yeah, Weird Al's hilarious, man. Weird Al. Yeah, that's a weird time for me. I normally don't do live draw streams at this time. A couple times though. Right, so it's that. There's another character though I really want to do, another holiday character before I do the KRIS Kringle one. It's yeah, St. Patrick. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna draw him. I gotta go back and redraw him. If you come up with characters and you're not doing nothing with them, you should probably be like drawing them every year, kind of revisiting them, see if you could draw them better or have them doing something cool. You know, you really do got to test yourself and go. Am I getting any better this year than I was last year, or did I slip? Am I slipping? Do I need to step up my game and focus a little more? It happens. It happened with drawing and writing, all that stuff. Anything you do, really. Gotta stay up on your game, I guess. Yeah, finally finished that Lobo piece. Did a little short of that today. There's some metal on there. It's pandemic. I think of Lobo. I think of like kind of future metal a little bit because it's out in space. But then it's got to be kind of like to deal with this character. There's a couple bands from Denmark that kind of, when I think of them, some bands, I think of like Lobo, that'd be good in a Lobo movie. But I also think of like kind of biker metal, or even not even biker metal, just like Motorhead. I think of Motorhead also when I think of Lobo. I don't know why. Then I also think of like, they used to call it future hybrid metal back in the day. Stuff like that. Just because it's out in space, man. It's space metal. It's gotta be, futuristic and all that stuff. If you're trying to represent Lobo, man, I hope Momoa. Hope the movie's good. That little scene. I guess he has 2 scenes in the movie. 2 fight scenes, I guess. Obviously, I want to see him do more than just fight. I like to see the banter and the character. Yeah, we definitely want to see him kick some ass, but I don't know why they did that though, man. Like, why do a Supergirl movie? That's just like such a big risk. It seems like nobody cares really about Supergirl. Lobo was just like print money movie, like people would. It's like Deadpool, like everyone's waiting for it. Everybody kind of, and a lot of people that are fans of Momoa, they know who Lobo is, and they know he was always kind of born for that role. So they should have been like fast tracking that movie from day one. They're making all these stupid movies and blowing all this Warner Brothers money. Like they made that Batgirl movie that never got released. Like that money could have went to a Lobo movie even. I just think Lobo he's kind of made at the wrong time too, because he pokes fun at like political commentary. So he's definitely like not a woke character. So it's kind of you got to do it right. Be like, that's like why like Conan hasn't gotten made yet, because he's problematic. No one wants to touch it, but now they will though, because now it's like a kind of an upswing. You know, there's always balances, like I say. If you're gonna have progressive political, you know, stuff, it's popular in entertainment, in academia. There's going to be the opposite to that. If you're going to have AI art, AI generated things, you're going to have human art. You know, if you're gonna have a bunch of music on the radio, you're going to have underground stuff, and it's always going to be opposites. Always. Just kind of laying down some big blades of grass right now. And this is like a motion right here, so you're not going to see this Krampus's legs. You know, that's like a decision I made not to show it. I want to see this line of motion right here from the axe coming down. You know, I could pull out a French curve and just do a bunch of speed lines. You know, but I don't want to do that. Like, I can let the blood flow, kind of tell where it's going. Let's see here. Okay. But I might do a little blood spatter. That might be kind of cool if I do a little bit of that. So I might do a little bit of that up here. Let's see here if I can do a little of that right there. There we go. There we go. I like that. That's always cool. Because there's always spatter, dude, no matter what you do in real life. If you're going to make a big mess with things. Always going to be spatter. Spatter and splatter. There we go. There's that. A little bit of splatter. Where's Dexter when you need him? I hope they make a new season of Dexter. There we go. All right. Spatter City. Dirty Santa right there. There we go. That Clip Studio, man, the spatter effects they got on there, and I don't know, man, just like everything they have on there, the airbrushing, the spray paint, it's so cool. I'm actually thinking about doing my borders like that for my Hellwar comic, because it looks so cool, you know. Thing is, if I sell some art or give some art away, some of the stuff isn't going to look the same as it was in the book. Some of the borders have airbrush in the book, but then when you buy the art, or if I give art away, it's like, oh, how come it's not, you know, the borders aren't airbrush, you know. But I could always explain that, I guess. But I'm just kind of thinking about doing that, because I want the book to look really raw, man. Like really, like you could see how I want people to see how I scan the pages in. I want it extremely raw. I'm going for the opposite of what everything is now. Like I really love how what Kurt Bruegel's doing with Crom the Barbarian, just right here. He just straight, you know, scans the art in. You can see the pages where he scanned it right there. I love the way that looks. It's like nice and dark, you know. Not all the stuff's like that, but I do like that. Right here, you can see the pages, you know. This one too. It's dark, just dirtiness. Real gritty looking. It's even more so in the other book. Because I could go in there and I could mess with the values and the colors and everything and make everything white. But I don't want to do that. I think for the look, you know, I like how we did that. Even how we scanned the old pages. You can see where it ends on the scanner bed. I think it looks cool. Yeah, something about it. I don't know. But then he cleans up a lot of it too in here. He just has it for some things. Right here, I think, yeah, you can see where he kind of scanned it in, and yeah, it looks cool. I like that look. So I'm thinking I probably might do that with mine, with Hellwar. Hellwar's going to be a big book like this. About 12 by 12. It's going to be crazy. Wait till you see it. Yeah. Can't wait to finish it and do the prototype. Make a prototype for it. Print that out before I even launch my Kickstarter, so people could kind of see what it'll look like, you know. And obviously, to be a prototype, you're going to go back, and I'll go back and make some changes, you know, things like that. Maybe I'll print a couple copies. I think just to print one copy of it, it's like $100 just to make one prototype. It's pretty wild with shipping and whatnot. You make a prototype, but then you have to sell the book for $35, and the prototype's $100. But you gotta know what you're gonna be making, you know. It's gotta be perfect. That's how you do it. And then once it's done, and you got your editor looking at everything, and everything's tip top, all your spelling's right, all your words are right, the story's coherent, then you probably want to make a second prototype, the final draft prototype. And you get that, you look at that, get that from the printer, and then you know, oh wow, you look at it, this looks good. Okay, print me 120 more now, you know. Then you could start selling them or giving them away, or whatever you're gonna do, you know. Do a crowdfund to print more, or even to get up to that point. It's a beautiful time we're living in right now. It really is. There we go. All right. Might have to beef these lines up right here. I think I'm going to do that for this picture. Let's see. My kids are going to miss the Elf on the Shelf. Yeah, Elf on the Shelf days are done. Had a lot of fun with those guys this year. All right. All right. There we go. All right, so now let's start making some little blades of grass. Thanks for hitting the like, guys. Appreciate it. Awesome, awesome. Awesome people. All right, more blades of grass. There we go. I think a lot of people are out of town today. Yep. I'm drawing that grass right now. There we go. Let's see here. Smith is real father of Adi. Jingle bell, rock. Thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah. Didn't get to watch Christmas Vacation this year. I wish I did. This was the fastest year of my life. It really was. Because I was just thinking, like, dang, we didn't watch Christmas Vacation this year, but I'm just thinking, we just watched it last year and wasn't that long ago. Yeah. It's crazy how fast this year went by. Can't believe it. Crazy. You're so crazy, man. Crazy. There we go. All right. Blades of grass. It's getting kind of busy. Look at it real quick on the mirror. And it's kind of busy, but I'm gonna have to get it busier. It's got to be busier. That way you can help break up things and see things more. So the more grass blades you have, the easier it is to see the stuff around it, because it's kind of like a color hold or a blocking it. So Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. A lot of blades of grass, right? This is just a kind of chilling part, you know. Not really doing much, just drawing the grass, man. Drawing the grass. Kind of like the Bob Ross section of the drawing, you know. There's that. Tons of grass. I like to have different sizes of grass too. Kind of switch it up a little bit. Some of them are thinner and thicker and bigger and smaller. It's kind of varieties. Different sizes. Looking at my sub count, man. I'm subscribed to so many channels. I think I'm subscribed to like 200 channels. And it's funny how like a lot of them don't even pop up anymore when they get new videos. You really do gotta like resubscribe to people because yeah, stuff gets dropped off. It's wild. Trying to get a little somewhere with the grass now. So I have that right there. I don't know if this is any thing in there. No. Probably start doing some of this. A couple down here. Let's see. All right. There we go. I get some other grasses right here. There's that. So I use this Proco pin. Works okay. I kind of like the whiteout more. Just straight up whiteout. Whoop. Dropped one. Let's see here. You get these translucent blades right here, like real grass, right? Kind of does that sometimes. These ones are kind of see-through. Maybe the sun hitting them a little bit. How's it going? Not to do. Thanks for stopping by. Just finishing up this KRIS Kringle piece right here. And some little lines right here. Got some translucent blades of grass right here. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Probably gonna have to start a new drawing next time we go live. I'll try to think of some ideas. I was thinking about doing Pennywise versus Vecna. Thought that might be kind of cool. Everyone's arguing about it. I'm like, well, fuck, let's settle this shit. Let's have them throw down, you know. That's what I did. I did that with the two Pennywises one time. I had Skarsgård versus Curry. And Skarsgård's is very, very crab. I mean, obviously it's an arachnid, but it's very crab-like too as well. So that was kind of a major sticking point for me, and as far as the designing the battle and what he could do with his limbs. Did that a few years back. There we go. It looks like we're getting some grass in here. A little bit of grass. I think I'm gonna come back and thicken this broom up a little bit. This twig broom. Just sell that right there. Kind of see what's going on. Thanks for everybody stopping by, hitting the like. Appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a awesome holiday weekend, Christmas Day weekend. It's fun just getting started. Still got was it Friday night? Yeah, this is Friday. I keep thinking it's Saturday. Yeah, I never stream on this early on Saturday. Or I'm sorry, on Friday. This is, I think it's a first for me. Yeah, it's wild. Yep. Oh, thanks for hitting the hearts and stuff. Yeah, I can't wait to finish my book, man. I'm so excited. It's finally coming to an end. I don't know if what website I want to launch it on. I think I'm going to go on Kickstarter. Just seems like Indiegogo's kind of fucked up right now. I don't know. They're gonna start working on some stuff, and then I did a little teaser for my comic. I think I'm gonna drop that next week on the New Year's. I don't start working on the trailer. Hopefully, I have that done in a couple, maybe a month or so. If I could, I would just pay someone to do it, but I'm not gonna do that this time. Stuff ain't cheap. A lot of people don't do trailers for their comic books when they launch them anymore, but I think it's cool, man. Yeah. I think it kind of helps build up the hype of the book and kind of lets people know. There we go. There we go. There we go. There's that. I get the hair in there. It's not a Santa I would want to mess with. That's for sure. No siree. Looking at the mirror. Look at the mirror, it can kind of help you gauge, give you some pointers, some ideas for what piece needs. Kind of switch it up. Can't believe people love Minecraft so much. It's amazing. Amazing. Freaking phenomenon. Phenom. Look at that. Pop it a little more, a little more, a little more. Yeah. Got to come up with some ideas for the next stream. For some drawing. Very important. Actually, last week I was racking my brain trying to think of stuff. I couldn't think of anything. Had a pretty rough couple last weeks. This month's been pretty rough for me. But just thinking of like normally it's just this month, man. It's one fucking month, December. Normally I could just think of all. I normally have too many ideas, and I it's just kind of hard for me to come up with stuff that I wanted to draw. It really was. And normally I just like no problem, But this month, yeah, it was a little tricky. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty hard. All right, get that right there. Check it out in the mirror a little bit more. Get in there a little bit. Get in there a little bit. All right, this guy needs a little more. A little more. Okay. That. You always get a little dirtier. I'm getting there. make these horns pop a little more. There we go. All right. Okay. Would not want to be messing with this Krampus. There we go. Gotta get those eyeballs in there. I knew I was missing something. There we go. Gotta get those cracked out eyes. They look a certain way. In the old drawing I did, I knew something was off. There we go. Much scarier. All right, almost there, man. Almost there. Okay, there's that. All right. Pretty much almost there, man. Almost there. Yeah. Well, I think that's it for the, let's see, KRIS Kringle Krampus Killer. Probably gonna leave it like that for a while. Yep. Just a nice little wind down stream right now. Pretty chill. And probably gonna sign it up here or something like that. Maybe put it over here. There we go. Gotta find a good spot to sign it. Nowadays it's kind of hard. I might even sign it up here for once. Or you know what? Yeah, it's kind of a weird spot. You gotta find a good spot to sign it. Usually I carve out a spot nowadays. I'll find one later. But yeah, that's KRIS Kringle Krampus Killer, 2026. Got it all taken care of. Probably gonna end this stream right now, get ready for bed, and might try to do a quick stream tomorrow too, if I can figure out something inspiring to draw, which I'm pretty sure I will. But if not, it'll be tomorrow or the next night. We'll hit it hard again. Nah, I'm just playing. We don't really hit it hard on this stream. It's just a chill back stream. So, but thanks everybody that tuned in. I appreciate it. Everybody that hit the like and the subscribe, and I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and do a little zoom in right here of it. Kind of pull back a little bit. We could see what's really going on. So he's doing battle to all these guys right here, all these Krampuses. So I think it came out good, and better than the previous one I did. So I'm happy about that. I think color, some flats on this would look pretty dope, for sure. But as always, yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know you roll. And also, don't forget, if an artist isn't starving, then an artist isn't hungry. I'll see you guys next time. You guys be good. Stay metal.